I'm Graceless Hippo, and I've been playing City Skylines recently. Also, I've been doing a lot of Twitch. Unfortunately, the connection keeps playing up, so I thought I'd have a go at doing another edited video today, showing you all the things that I've been doing on City Skylines that I couldn't show you through Twitch. So, what you're looking at the moment is a massive area which I have cordoned off and built up walls of dirt around the edge of, say, a 3 to 4 tile area that I then pumped out with all those pumps that you see there. And then I decided, because you hadn't seen that I wanted to show you it, so I thought I'd do something clever and flood it all back up again to show you. So, I'm speeding this footage up to show you that I opened up breaches in the walls I'd created, and because I just wanted to show you what it was like when it was flooded. I also wanted to see how long it would take to flood it, and I didn't want to run a disaster that you can put in, you can get it to run a disaster on it, which is tidal wave, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it controlled, and I didn't want to cause any unnecessary deaths. So I wanted to see how long it would take. This is speeded up 4 times. I ended up putting in 5 wall breaches in total. So you can see the area involved is quite large. And I just wanted to see how long it would take to fill it up. And I was getting bored of waiting. So that area filled up quite quickly next to the pumps. And then I carried on filling it up so it would look more like the sea it was to begin with, rather than after I'd finished engineering it all. And I went off and did a load of other things, including building up this area on a raised area. I forgot all about the fact that I was draining it again to show you what it looks like when it blooming drains! Yeah, I know, I made this mistake. But that's what it looks like when it drains. So that area is now ready to build on. And the criteria of this was to get a population of 100,000. I can't see a way of doing it without doing this. This is essentially cheating. It's draining the area to the seabed and using the seabed as a building area. This is a tsunami-stricken region. I'm going to show you what happens with a tsunami with this when I've eventually finished building it up. I just thought you might like to see the scale of the engineering you can do on this game. It's hugely addictive. So addictive that I've spent about 3 to 4 days playing this scenario. Just this one scenario, not even the game itself, just one scenario. I did enjoy doing it though, actually considering playing the whole thing again. So there's a lot of infrastructure I put in as well, including another long, windy motorway. And this is me doing that there. The trick of the motorways is to try and keep the platforms a little bit apart, and you don't want those uprights. Where those uprights, the suspension bits are, you can't join stuff to them, so you want the motorway to be as smooth as possible. No uprights, no suspension bits, and with a little bit of gap between gives you just a little bit of leeway with putting in side roads and feeder roads. I also get creative with the way that I connect my motorways. Sometimes, I'll admit, they don't look very pretty. On this occasion, I've elected to use motorway deck as the material of choice, the material du jour for the roundabout. Sometimes I'll use one-way, two-track roads. Sometimes I'll use feeder roads for the motorways. As long as they're one way, it doesn't really matter. With the motorway track, I like to think you get more traffic before you fill it up too much, before you end up with a jam. So that's the reason why I've used it there, because I'm connecting two motorways effectively, and it takes a bit of tinkering. I use the curve road editor to put in curves where possible, but sometimes I just put in squares. And this is where you get the problem with you see that the deck is interfering with the suspension part of that bridge. That's why wherever possible you want just flat deck for your motorway rather than the suspension bits, because you can't put anything around them, you can't build through them, you can't add roads to them. They're a pain. Get rid of them. Always get rid of them. I ended up having to move that motorway roundabout because I could not fit it in there. I was trying to fit it in, it just would not have it. Look at it. What a mess. Yeah, gave up. Give up, woman! Right, go further up. Check you're in the right position. Away from that stupid suspension, which is a pile of poo. There you go, go curved. So we've had it in straight, I've switched to curved. Third time's a charm. Third time isn't the charm. Just does not want to do it. Sometimes in these situations it's easier to just put a straight piece in and then work round it after. Really doesn't want to do it at all. Start off with a straight piece and then work on that. I want it to, so at the end of the day, it also, as well as serving a function, I also want it to look fairly pretty. Although, you know, I accept that a lot of the time I don't actually achieve this rather basic aim for my stuff. So we got it won't go in one way, going the wrong way, so I just had to edit it. Use the editing tool to change the direction of part of that deck, because it changes the direction depending on which way you're facing when you lay it. The direction of one-way roads always points away from you as you're laying it. So if you're turning round, as I was doing there, to put in the roundabout, if you're not careful, it'll change the direction and you don't even notice. And the same goes for the feeder roads, the off-ramps and on-ramps. So there's the off ramps and on ramps. Now I have to think of a pretty way. So all I have to do is think of a pretty way to connect the lovely, pristine, multi-million pound motorway that I have just constructed all round my lovely draining area that I've made. And this is the solution I came up with. I'm already cringing at this. Having just told you that I like it to look pretty. This is what I ended up with. Yeah, it'll do. I'm fed up with it now. I've spent 20 minutes on this. Is there any way to make it stop? Yeah, that'll do. God, that's rubbish. Oh, that is just terrible. That is so bad. And there's my pumps. Some of them have ended up, the pipes are out of the water, and so they're no longer pumping. And the way to fix that is to move them down. So once they've moved down, though, they're disconnected, and you have to go back in and connect them with water pipes. So there's a little bit of micromanagement involved, but it takes a lot less time than you think to do this. This is the way to get round the restriction of having to build up to 100,000 population on this really sparse map. So I'd say at a conservative estimate, there's about 20% land to build on the whole of it. And you only get 9 tiles. You can only buy 9 tiles. So there just wouldn't be enough to do it this way. You'd have to do some sort of engineering to fix the problem. As well as the fact that at the start of this one, I called it the tsunami challenge, is you're just bombarded from the start with tsunami. But then after a couple of game years, sorry about that, after a couple of game years, they just stop. So suddenly you have no disasters to contend with. You just can build them up as much as you like. Those ones don't even have electricity, but that's easy to fix. Stick a wind turbine in, no problem. Job's a good one. You can already see the difference in the level of water there again. And you can see my magnificent motorway, which is magnificent. And I start drawing in on the area of land that I can build on, which is obviously the raised area. Didn't give that a name. I should give it a name, really, but I didn't. Just get on and do it. At the moment, the population is only in around the 50,000 plus mark. So I've still got a lot to do with this to get it complete. And I've enjoyed it so much. I'm playing it. I'm going to play it again. I've already decided I'm playing it again. So there. So here we have our newly drained large area of land that we can build on. And job one of that really is to put in the road network. So just take you through in a little bit more detail about how I actually build up these areas. Start off with electricity supply, then water. So you put in water pipes, and usually the first requirement there is for an area is to put in industrial, then commercial, which is the blue area I just added. I added some more commercial to the old area to finish that area off. And that's residential. Green's residential, blue is commercial, and yellow is industrial. So that area is filled now. Also had some police and medical stuff to put in too. Missed out some water on that area. So now I could just build that area up. This sunken area. I had trouble getting that connection to the high up deck on the motorway. So on the next connection I did for my motorway, I went for a sunken roundabout. In other words, one that's in a tunnel. That way I'd have more room to play around with. I also put in a metro network, but I didn't connect it to one that already exists. I put in a new loop. So that passengers can transfer from one station to the other rather than overloading the existing station. Try and get it in a smooth loop so that they run fairly quickly. That's station 1 connected, station 2 connected, station 3, and then complete the loop. So you end up with 4 stops on your metro network for that little loop. So once the metro's in, you can start putting in bus routes, and that will connect workers to industry, and you'll reduce the amount of people that the industry needs. So I just put in a few there because I already had some zoned. More commercial. This will give you an idea of how difficult it is to get the connections in from these really high decks. Again, I'm going for pretty. Just bear it in mind. Bear in mind, I'm going for pretty. So that one goes in there. Jobs are good and get the other in. No, it won't have it. So how can I do this? I know. I'll loop it back on itself. Will it have it? No, it won't. No, doesn't want that. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Right, so delete that. No, it's not going to do it. It's not going to have it. Stop. Stop now, woman. No. You're so barking up the wrong tree. No. No, it won't build stanchions onto another road deck. That's not how it works. Again, going for pretty. I mean, I don't really know why I get so obsessed with this stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's only a connection, and the longer the connection is, the less likelihood there is of traffic building up on your city roads. Oh, but it bugs me. It bugged me so much. God damn it, just connect. There you go. Isn't that pretty? God. So I'm going to complete this area. And I do it by need. So you have the little bars on the bottom right hand corner, which are corresponding to the zoning colours. So green, blue and industry here is marked as sort of orangey ochre colour rather than yellow, but I put it in as it's needed. So the highest highest requirements, we'll stick that in. I also turned off all the water pumps, but I'm leaving them there because I'm lazy. Turning them off reduces noise pollution, and you get less complaints from residents about noise, because they'll be chugging away even when they're not sucking on any water. More commercial. And then it's about sort of fine-tuning the needs. It's you need to make sure you have parks in, and police, and obviously fire. All the bus networks need to connect. Did I say parks? Put parks in as well. And that way you get them upgrading to their maximum. More residential. So I'll forward along on this. So anyway, this is all the stuff that I was trying to bring you the last couple of nights on Twitch, but because I had connection issues, I couldn't bring them to you. But I was so fascinated about actually being able to, whether or not I could complete this project. I didn't know if I could pull it off, but it seems to be working quite well. I'm going to carry on filling up those lower sections of this area that I've drained, and once I've finished doing that, and I've completed this mission to get 100,000 and to complete the game, well, not the game, but just this mission, once I've done that, I'm going to do a tidal wave on it, and I'm going to show you that. And I can't wait to see what happens with that. But on that bombshell, I'm going to leave you to it. I've been Graceless Hippo. This has been city skylines. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.